The shortstop is a stylish Balisong opening that's as popular as it is cool. What I'm going to show you today is the reverse shortstop, equally as flashy but nowhere near as common. Just like its counterpart, the reverse shortstop is a great trick to finish up a combo with. In this video, not only am I going to teach you the reverse shortstop, but I'm also going to cover 4 other variations which showcase the true versatility of the trick. Since people always ask in the comments, the Balisong I'm using for this video is the Squid Industries Squid Trainer V4 in teal. This video is actually sponsored by Squid Industries, as they sent this Balisong to me for free for the purpose of review and this tutorial. The full review is linked in the description. Let's jump into the breakdown. What I'm going to do is I'm going to explain the basic movements of the trick, and then I'm going to explain why this trick is actually more difficult and the tips I would give to help you figure out the timing. Because just like the regular shortstop, the timing of the reverse shortstop is critical. Essentially, what you're doing in this trick is you're doing a Y2K, and then you're going to manipulate your fingers to get into this position where the Balisong is between your ring finger and your middle finger, and the handle is hanging down, not with the Balisong. That's the tricky part. And then you're going to lift it into this open position. The key part that makes this trick difficult is the timing, just like with the regular shortstop. The tricky part about the timing, as I mentioned, is the Balisong is going to want to continue in that chaplain position, but we don't want that. We have to have it stay open. I'm going to go through the trick step by step and explain the nuances of how you can keep the Balisong from going into a chaplain and ending up in the standard open position properly. You're going to start off this trick holding the bite handle in the pen grip, just like you would do a regular Y2K. So you're going to do that thumb rollover, and you're going to catch the safe handle between your thumb and your middle finger. Now, as soon as you catch it with your thumb and your middle finger, you're going to let go of your thumb. And that is step 1 in avoiding the handle swinging around into a chaplain. Now, step 2 is you have 2 options to choose from after you've removed your thumb. Whichever one you choose, you are going to be pushing around with your middle finger and inserting your ring finger right here on the other side of the handle. But you can either choose just to do that, or you can choose to add in your index finger here and help to kind of support and guide the Balisong into that position. Now, the reason that I found for me is why I can't use my thumb here, but I can do the index. If you just look, the thumb kind of limits the Balisong to be in this position, where if you use the index to support, you can push the Balisong around, continue that movement with your middle finger, and you can hold it out here. You definitely don't want to put your index all the way down here if you're choosing to use it for a little bit of extra support. Now, the other key factor in this trick of preventing the chaplain and having the handle swing around open is you're going to want to wait until the bite handle hits the blade, and then you can kind of initiate in that push. And so that is something that's pivotal in this trick. If you take the shortstop, for example, the trick is fluid. It's very fluid. Essentially, you're taking the 2 steps of the trick and then trying to get them as fluid as possible. But what I found is for this reverse shortstop, you actually want to have a little stutter there. Kind of messed it up, but you get the idea. Because if you do it too fluidly, what ends up happening is you just go right into a chaplain. And so that little pause, that little stutter, is me waiting for the handle to hit the blade. And that's probably moving the blade forward just enough so that way when you apply the pressure to the safe handle, the blade can swing away from the bite handle and it lands open, as opposed to if you do it too soon, what's going to happen as you push the safe handle away from you, the blade is going to follow, and then the bite handle follows behind that, and you're in a chaplain. Well, I would consider the truest form of the reverse shortstop to start with that pen grip into the Y2K. Just like with the regular shortstop, you don't always start it from a closed position, with the bite handle like that. A lot of times you're doing it in the middle of the combo. How I would recommend practicing the reverse shortstop in the middle of the combo. If you want to do the full thing, would be from a whip rollover. And so as you can see, you would get into that position there where you would remove your thumb and then finish off the trick. Okay, now to show you 4 variations. Now these all have something in common, which they take just the second half of the reverse shortstop, which is this move right here, which I think looks really unique to the Rev Shortstop. Now this first variation, if you know the choker fan, I would say is the easiest way of doing the reverse shortstop. Now the choker fan looks super intricate and complex, but as you're probably taught in the tutorials, you always end up in this position. And once you're in this position, it's very simple to get into the reverse shortstop. All you have to do is you swing the Balisong around, and you can use your hand for some of this, but you can also push down with your ring finger and up with your middle finger. You swing around at this, and then you can use the momentum of that big swing to then add in your pinky, push down with your ring, and get into this position. Now that last bit is the hardest part, where you have to swing from here all the way around and into the open position. With some practice, you can use the weight and momentum of the balisong to finish in that position. Something to keep in mind is you don't want to swing too hard, because then the balisong will flip over and you won't be able to catch it closed. It's really about a balance between swinging it hard enough so you're not lifting it up slowly at the end, and not overdoing it so it swings over your hand like that. This next one's similar because you're starting with the choker fan, but instead of letting the trick finish until all the way into the end, you're going to interrupt the movement to end with the balisong open. I actually learned this trick from Hourglass Eyes Flipping. This is how he shows how to do it. I'll explain how you can do it here. Essentially what it is you do that choker fan, but just spin it with your middle finger and your thumb, just those two fingers. Right in this position is where you would add this third finger to then transfer to those and to continue the spin to those three. But what you're actually going to do is when you add in the ring finger, you're going to stop the spin, remove your thumb, add your pinky, and then lift it. And it's a little bit easier to do it when the balisong is moving. And so that's going to look like that, essentially. Now for this next version, you're going to do the reverse shortstop from a palm fan. I first saw this version from BaliTube, and I'll link his YouTube short in the description. Anyway, this version is just a little bit more difficult because you're interrupting a fan. What you're going to want to do, you're going to do the palm fan, let the handle fall down. Then you're going to take your middle finger and kind of go under the handle and insert it like this, and then finish the move. You can also do it with your ring finger, but I find that to be a little bit more difficult to get it to go under the balisong easily, whichever is more comfortable. What you are going to want to do though is you're going to want to initiate the movement of the finger while the balisong is still spinning, like that. Now for this final version, which I think is the most difficult. So this one's just a basic fan into that reverse shortstop movement like that. But as you can see, it's a little bit difficult to get the timing down. The reason for that is that it's the exact opposite from the palm fan. The palm fan, because this safe handle is facing down, it's already in that position to lift it up. But with the basic fan, you need the spinning handle to be up and the blade facing down in order to then initiate in that movement. This is one of those tricks that you just have to practice a lot and mess around with the different timings until you can get it consistently. And then once you've done it a lot, it'll be a lot easier. What you're going to want to do is you're going to initiate the basic fan, and as it's spinning, you're going to curl your first two fingers back like this. You're going to wait until the other handle is up, and then you can insert your middle finger, let go of your thumb, let the balisong fall down, insert the pinky, and then lift it up like that. The hard thing is the balisong is going to want to end up in this position. You could also technically kind of do that as a close, and that's kind of cool. But if you want to do it to where it's open, you really just have to mess around with the timing until you can get it like that consistently. Now that you know how to do the reverse shortstop, something cool that you can do to keep your combos fresh is anytime you would do a regular shortstop, you can, instead of catching the handles open, miss the handle that's coming around and stop it with your index finger and go right into a whip rollover. And then you can finish up with a reverse shortstop move that we learned at the beginning. Or if you want to do something a little different, you could do the shortstop base combo that I taught in this tutorial here, and you can finish that with a Rev Shortstop when you get to the whip rollover. Check out this tutorial next if you want to learn that combo.